Your body remembers what you forgot. There's a pain in your body that doctors can't explain. Maybe it's your back, always tight, always aching. Maybe it's your stomach, churning, burning, refusing to digest. Maybe it's headaches that come from nowhere. Fatigue that sleep doesn't fix. A throat that tightens when you need to speak. You've done the tests. Nothing's wrong. Or something's wrong, but the treatment doesn't work. Or it works for a while, then the pain moves somewhere else. You're starting to wonder if you're crazy. If you're making it up. If it's all in your head. Here's the truth. It's not in your head. It's in your body. But it started in your life. Today we're going to explore what your body is trying to tell you. Why your symptoms might be the voice of everything you've silenced. And what happens when you finally start to listen. This is psychosomatics, the connection between psyche and soma, mind and body. And understanding it might change not just how you see your pain, but how you live your life. Let's start with a radical idea. Your body is not separate from your mind. Your emotions are not separate from your flesh. Every feeling you have creates a physical response, and every physical response carries emotional information. When you're afraid, your heart races. When you're ashamed, your face flushes. When you're sad, your chest aches. When you're angry, your jaw tightens. This isn't metaphor. This is biology. The body and mind are one system. What happens in one happens in the other. So, what happens when you have an emotion you can't express? It doesn't disappear. It goes into the body. It becomes tension, contraction, pain, eventually illness. The emotion that can't move through you gets stuck in you. Bessel van der Kolk, the psychiatrist who revolutionized trauma treatment, wrote a book called The Body Keeps the Score. The title says it all. Your body is keeping score of everything that's happened to you. Every hurt you couldn't process. Every word you couldn't say. Every tear you couldn't cry. Every scream you swallowed. It's all there. Written in your muscles, your organs, your nervous system. The body doesn't forget. Even when the mind does. Let's talk about how this works. When you experience something overwhelming, trauma, loss, fear, your nervous system activates. Fight, flight, freeze. Stress hormones flood your body. Your muscles tense. Your breathing changes. Your body prepares to survive. If you can complete the stress response, if you can fight or flee, if you can shake it off, if you can be held and comforted, the energy moves through and releases. But if you can't, if you have to stay still, stay quiet, stay functional, the energy gets trapped. Peter Levine, who developed somatic experiencing, studied how animals in the wild process trauma. A gazelle chased by a lion will, if it escapes, literally shake, trembling to discharge the survival energy. Humans don't do this. We suppress. We control. We hold it together. And the energy stays locked in our bodies. For years. For decades. Forever unless we release it. This trapped energy becomes chronic tension. Chronic pain. Chronic illness. Your tight shoulders might be carrying years of responsibility you never asked for. Your aching lower back might be holding fear about survival, about support, about whether the ground beneath you is stable. Your digestive problems might be your gut trying to process what your mind refuses to digest. Your chronic fatigue might be the exhaustion of spending years suppressing who you really are. The body speaks in symptoms what the voice cannot say in words. Gabor Maté, the physician who has spent decades studying the connection between stress and disease, puts it bluntly. The body says no when we can't say no ourselves. If you can't set boundaries, your body will set them for you, through exhaustion, through illness, through collapse. If you can't express anger, your body will express it, through inflammation, through autoimmune conditions, through your immune system attacking itself. If you can't grieve, your body will grieve, through heaviness, through fatigue, through a heart that literally aches. Maté's research found striking patterns. People with autoimmune diseases often have histories of self-suppression, putting others first, being unable to say no, never expressing negative emotions. People with cancer often have histories of emotional repression, particularly the repression of anger. This doesn't mean you caused your illness. It means your illness exists in a context of life, of stress, of emotions, of patterns. And that context can be changed. Let's look at specific body parts and what they might be holding. The throat, this is about voice, expression, truth. If you have chronic throat issues, tightness, thyroid problems, difficulty swallowing, ask yourself, what am I not saying? What truth is stuck in my throat? The jaw, this is about anger, control, the things you're biting back. If you clench, grind, have TMJ, what are you holding in your mouth that wants to come out? The shoulders and neck, this is about burden, responsibility, the weight you're carrying. If they're always tight, whose weight are you holding? Is it actually yours to carry? The chest and heart, this is about grief, love, loss. Heartache is not just a metaphor. If you have chest tightness, heart palpitations, breathing issues, what have you lost that you haven't mourned? What love have you closed yourself off from? The stomach and gut, this is about processing, digesting life. Anxiety lives here. If you have digestive issues, IBS, chronic nausea, what can't you stomach? What is your life asking you to swallow that you can't digest? The lower back, this is about support, security, foundation. If your lower back is always in pain, do you feel supported? Do you feel safe? Do you trust that the ground will hold you? The hips and pelvis, this is about sexuality, creativity, the ability to move forward, pleasure. If you have chronic hip pain, pelvic issues, what are you not allowing yourself to feel? To want? To create? This isn't a perfect map. Bodies are complex, but there are patterns. And your body is trying to communicate through those patterns. The question is, are you listening? Alice Miller, the psychoanalyst who wrote about childhood trauma, described the body as the guardian of our truth. When we can't know something consciously, when it's too painful, too threatening, the body holds it for us. The body becomes the keeper of secrets we can't yet face. Your symptoms might be your body trying to get your attention, trying to tell you something, trying to bring to the surface what you've been pushing down. This is not to say all illness is emotional. Bodies get sick for many reasons. Genes, environment, random chance. But even purely physical illnesses exist in emotional contexts. And the emotional component is almost always underaddressed. Wilhelm Reich, the psychoanalyst who pioneered body-oriented therapy, observed that emotional repression literally shapes the body. He called it character armor, the chronic muscular tension that develops to keep emotions suppressed. Over time, this armor becomes a person's posture, their way of moving, their physical structure. Look at someone who has spent their life suppressing anger. Their jaw is set, their shoulders are raised, their fists are ready even when relaxed. Look at someone who has spent their life collapsing, playing small, their chest is caved, their shoulders rounded, their body takes up as little space as possible. The body tells the story, if you know how to read it. So, what do you do with this? First, start listening. Your body is talking all the time. Pain is a message. Tension is a message. Fatigue is a message. Instead of immediately trying to silence the symptom, ask it, what are you trying to tell me? What do you need? This might feel strange at first, but the body responds to attention, to presence, to the willingness to listen rather than override. Second, feel what you've been avoiding. The unfelt emotions have to be felt. There's no way around it. This doesn't mean drowning in feelings. It means allowing them to move through, in doses, with support, with the understanding that feelings are temporary even when they feel permanent. Crying is medicine. Shaking is medicine. Screaming into a pillow is medicine. The body knows how to release if you let it. Third, consider what your symptom is protecting you from. Sometimes illness serves a function. It gives you permission to rest. It gets you out of a situation you can't leave otherwise. It makes visible a struggle that no one was seeing. This isn't about blame. It's about curiosity. What would happen if this symptom disappeared? What would you have to face? What would you have to change? Fourth, give voice to what's voiceless. Speak what you haven't spoken. Write what you haven't written. Express what's been trapped. Art heals. Movement heals. Sound heals. Anything that gives form to the formless helps the energy move. Fifth, get support. The body holds what was too much to process alone. Healing often requires relationship, a therapist, a body worker, a trusted witness. You don't have to do this alone. In fact, you probably can't. What was wounded in relationship often needs relationship to heal. The body is not the enemy. Your symptoms are not failures. Your pain is not weakness. Your body is your ally. It's been holding what you couldn't hold, carrying what you couldn't carry, speaking what you couldn't speak. It's been waiting patiently, persistently for you to listen. Maybe it's time to stop fighting your body and start letting it tell you the truth. The truth about what happened to you. The truth about what you've been carrying. The truth about what needs to change. Your body remembers what you forgot. Maybe it's time to remember together. If this resonated, subscribe. This channel is for those who are ready to listen to what their bodies have been trying to say. In the next video, we explore why you might be afraid of your own happiness, the psychology of self-sabotage, and why some part of you might be terrified of getting what you want.